Hello everybody, and a very warm welcome back on my channel. Today I welcome you to the very first sit-down type video on this channel. I decided that I wanted to try this format out, to have some videos in between the more vlog-oriented type videos where I would just sit down and talk about a subject that I find interesting and that might be interesting to you as well, to maybe spark a conversation with you guys and see what your thoughts are. These videos are going to have topics, around the theme of slow life, living in the countryside, so like themes that are already present on this channel, but I want to use the opportunity as well to just talk about different subjects that maybe you come up with. Maybe you have some ideas, some things that you would like to spark the conversation, or things that I just find interesting in general. So these are maybe meant for you. Sit back, maybe just put your headphones in, go for a walk, or I don't know, however you want to watch or listen to these kind of videos. Maybe it's a little bit different than the content that has previously come up on the channel, but that will be still very present. So today's theme is going to be why we moved to the countryside. Maybe I have to explain a little bit. My fiance and I, we moved to the countryside of Switzerland around 6 months ago. We both come from the canton of Zurich, which is population-wise the largest canton of Switzerland. Also I would say the canton where a lot of stuff is going on, is happening. The city of Zurich is a very active, very big city with a lot of big employers, with a lot of shopping activities. It's, I would say, probably the biggest city in Switzerland, and it's a very nice city too. But we decided that we would move away from this canton, and we would go to an area that is quite far out, and is pretty much surrounded by fields, cows, and the forest. So pretty much, I would say, a very different life than we used to live before. This would be the subject of today's video, and I'm gonna go right ahead. So maybe grab something nice to drink, or go outside and lay down, or however you want to enjoy this video, and let's get going. So as I said, this decision that we would move to the countryside was not something that we just came up from one day to the other. It was more a gradual process. We had different kinds of elements that led to this decision, and I'm going to go through the list, and then you might see why we, in collecting all these different points, decided to make this decision, make this step. One important point for us was we wanted to have more space. In Switzerland, space is pretty, I would say, limited in certain areas. Switzerland is a rather small country with, compared to the size of the country, a rather large population, especially in areas like the canton of Zurich, where also rents are quite high. So having your own house, or not your own, maybe renting a house with a garden around, is something that is not that easy in a place like Zurich. So we decided to move outside and have the opportunity there to rent a house with a surrounding garden, which in the end effect, we pay the same amount of rent now as we did before for a nice but much smaller apartment in Zurich, in a multi-apartment house. So it is quite different, this this opportunity to have more space for yourself. Also, we decided a little earlier on, a couple of years ago actually, that we would like to have a dog, and that is something that we are absolutely going to pursue this year or next year. At least that's at the moment our vision. And for that, we decided that it would be best for our little friend to have a place where we are closer to forests, fields, where we have our own garden, where the dog can be, not be on a leash all the time, be a little bit more free, and just have we would say a better life for the dog. So that is absolutely something that we also took into consideration when moving further out, I would say. Also, something that I've always been very interested, but I've never had the opportunity to do, was the activity of gardening. I always wanted to try out that activity, that hobby of gardening. Probably you have already seen on this channel, it is something that I started to explore this year. Not very successful at the moment, but I think it's a learning process. So that was something that was not possible before. We didn't have a garden. You could maybe plant some herbs in a small pot and put it to the window, but otherwise real gardening with maybe a raised garden bed, a greenhouse, stuff like that was not possible before, and it is possible here now, since we have a lot more space and a garden to our availability to use. So that is also something that, was a little piece of the whole puzzle, I would say. We felt that we would want to live a life where we would be closer to nature. Now, closer to nature, either in proximity, we wanted to be closer to a forest, or just somewhere where we could go outside and be surrounded by very raw, untouched nature, much faster. I would say Switzerland is a pretty green country. You can, even in Zurich, there are very beautiful places, very nice green spots, some very nice beautiful lakes as well. But you're always, at least that was our experience, you're always with a lot of other people there. You never can go for a walk for yourself and not meet a single person. You will always meet other people and share that space, which is fine, of course. But if we wanted to have the possibility to maybe go for a walk by ourselves and have much more tranquility and peace for ourselves. So this is also a reason. So the proximity, distance wise to nature, but also from the lifestyle, I would say, experiencing the seasons as an example, is something that that was absolutely mind-blowing when we moved here. We moved here in the beginning of winter, and winter in the city is not very nice. At least for me, I didn't really enjoy it. It was always gray. The snow would melt very quickly and become dirty and brown because of the cars. The buildings didn't look nice. The trees were just didn't have any leaves, etc. And when we moved here and we experienced the winter in a very raw and natural form, it was a completely different thing. The winter was so beautiful. It was so magnificent to see the snow, to really feel the coldness, to feel the wind blowing, the snow falling. The forest during the winter is super magical, and the season itself is so beautiful. And that is something that that was not that clear before, because like in the city in the winter, for at least from my perspective, was not a very nice season. It was, as I said, not very pleasant. And then like the summer was super hot. At least the last couple summers in Zurich were very, very hot. And so like here we get to experience like the seasons, how they really are. We get to see how the nature transforms from winter. Now we are in the spring, almost in summer. Everything is coming back to life, and it's such a amazing thing to witness and see, you know. We also found that this this proximity, this being so close to nature, like both in the lifestyle, but also like from a physical perspective, has had tremendous impacts on our well-being, on our mental health. We feel a lot happier during the normal days. We feel a lot more relaxed. We feel very grateful, and just we've realized that this was a very good move, or a very good thing to do for our headspace, for our mental health, as it is also like very easy to, maybe if you have a stressful day, or if you, I don't know, have a rough time, if you go outside in this beautiful nature that we are surrounded by and go for a walk, and maybe you see a fox, or maybe you see a deer, or just some beautiful trees, you always come back feeling a lot better, and that is also a very big difference. I would say we live a much less hectic and stressed life here. Of course, there are a lot less opportunities to do things, and that was something that we had to take into consideration. Living very near to a big city, or in the canton of Zurich, you have a possibility to do stuff all the time, to go to a nice cafe, go to a nice restaurant, you know, go to the supermarket in walking distance, meet people, stuff like that. It's very easy, or at least was very easy for us. Going to the gym, etc. And a lot of those opportunities are not available, or so easily available anymore now. We would have to take the car, maybe drive there, or it is simply not available at all. So that is something that we took into consideration, but it was not an issue at all. Like from the beginning, we were clear on that. We actually don't need those kind of things, and the things that we do want to still have in our life will probably need a little bit more effort from our side, like going like my jiu-jitsu training is still in Zurich, so I have to drive there, you know, but that's completely fine for me. That is something that we took into consideration, but it was not a problem for us. As a matter of fact, it actually also like just cleared the head a little bit, and you have to experience new things, do new things, and also like enjoy the smaller things, enjoy the simpler things, you know. It is very, very simple, very easy to fill your life with activities like going for a coffee, going shopping, etc. That is very easy, and also something maybe to like numb your mind a little bit, take your mind off things. And here you don't have that possibility. Here you have to maybe watch, you know, go out to the garden, maybe go for a walk, watch the beautiful trees, maybe do some stuff in the garden. You know, it is just a different thing that you have to learn and appreciate. But we absolutely love it. So that is something very nice. Also, and this is a very interesting point. We feel like, we feel like the people that live here in the countryside are super friendly, are the nicest people that we've ever lived next to and lived close by. This is something that we quickly realized, that people here are just much more relaxed. They are not as stressed. They are super friendly. They respect your boundaries, but they still like want to get to know you a little bit, or are interested in what you do and who you are. They are very gladly, they help you if you need that. If you need help in any way, shape or form, they are there for you. And this is truly amazing, and we didn't expect it to be like this. But when we like looked around for places, we quickly realized that the people here are just amazing, and that has been a convincing factor for us. Absolutely. And quickly, I have some notes made on the side. Also, I liked the idea of having to learn new things and to experience new things. When we moved here, we came from, I would say, a very simple life in the way of like living life, if that makes sense. If you had a problem with anything in the apartment, you just called, and somebody came by, fixed everything. It was very easy. Maybe you fill out a form online. If you wanted to heat up the apartment, you just had to like move a little dial on the wall, and it automatically raised the temperature. It was all very modern, very new, like equipment. It was very comfortable, I would say, very comfortable, and a very easy way of living. And that is something that I never had something against it, because it is very comfortable, of course. However, I like the idea of not everything being super easy, or having to work for something in order to get it, if that makes any sense. As an example, I like the idea that during the winter time, the house that we live in now is not super new, so it wasn't always like super warm. Also because the heating system here is quite old, and we had to figure out how it actually works. It is not like a oil or gas heater system. It is more like an electricity heater system, which stores electricity overnight. It was quite strange for us, and we had to learn how to use those, and also like making fire in the fireplace back there, cutting wood for that, chopping wood for that, was something that I really enjoyed. I mean, it is not like, if you compare it to before, I simply had to like move the dial up a little bit, and then it automatically warmed the place. But here I actually had to do something for it, and once it was warm afterwards, it was like in a little sense of accomplishment, if you know what I mean. That is and you have to learn new stuff, like how does a older heating system work. I had to fix the toilet right away when we came here. The toilet broke down, and I never ever had to fix a toilet before. But I simply said, okay, this is part of the deal now, and I'm going to figure out how this stuff works. And I did it, after a couple of tries, and that is something that I now know a little bit more about, and that I like. I like knowing stuff like that, and that is possible in a place like here. So also, this is probably also like a factor that moved moved the needle a little bit for us was we also like came in contact with different like kinds of media that promote this kind of lifestyle, different kinds of like music and people on YouTube and stuff like that, that like showed us how they live in a more countryside, rural place. And we always we absolutely saw why these people chose that kind of life. And I always felt like, I feel like this is a very good life that I would want to experience for myself. I think it would be a very good life for us, for myself, for my health in every single aspect. And it is like the whole package was very interesting and interesting for me. So I knew that I would want to try this out in one way, shape or form, if I could somehow do that. And luckily we got the opportunity to do this by finding this house here. So yeah, so for us, I would have to say this is the way that we are currently the happiest that we've been. Like, I have never been happier like with the lifestyle that I'm living at the moment, and I would not go back currently at this moment. Maybe someone I don't want this anymore. It always can be, but at the moment this feels absolutely right, and I like for the both of us, and we do not plan to change this kind of lifestyle anywhere soon. So maybe that's the closing part of this video. I wanted to give back a question to you, like how do you live? Do you prefer to live more in a rural countryside setting? What do you find, why do you choose to live this way? What are the convincing factors for you? Or do you say, no, this looks interesting, this sounds nice, but I prefer to live closer to a city and live that city life, and I prefer this kind of lifestyle. So maybe you can share your 2 cents down in the comments below, and spark the conversation, maybe form a little type of discussion. So yeah, these were my points, my reasons for why we moved to the countryside, why we moved away from the canton of Zurich, to live a more, I would say, simpler and slower kind of lifestyle, a more minimalistic kind of lifestyle that requires a lot less stimulus and materialistic goods and things to do. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this kind of video. Maybe leave me a feedback how you like this, if you would like more kinds of these videos, and if you have any subject ideas, subject wishes, maybe questions, maybe topics, I would also be very glad for any inputs from you guys. So thank you very much for watching. See you next time. Have a nice day. Stay healthy. Bye bye.